welcome. Welcome. This is Zen-X Yoga, and my name is Vivian Wolf. We are moving through the 48 lessons of transformation for Generation X. Today is let me scroll back up here, number 35. We are on lesson 35, my friends. We are almost all the way through our series here. We're doing such a great job. Today we are talking about finding and activating our inner power using breath work. And we're going to focus on a particular pranayama technique, breathwork technique, known as Kapalabhati. Kapalabhati. It's fun to say. You can say it out loud now if you want to. Kapalabhati, which translates to skull shining breath. I think in the description I have written fire breath. It's not quite right. It's skull shining breath. And it's such a wonderful pranayama. So usually when I work with clients, we use pranayama to help to calm everything down, to slow down the nervous system, to deepen the breath, slow it down, make it longer and easier. This one goes on the other side to lift our energy up, to increase our focus, our drive to achieve goals. If you've heard me talk about the gunas before. The gunas are just states in which we can describe things. So tamas is potential energy, it's rest, it's ease, but it also can be lethargy or fogginess or unable to move. Rajas is the other side of that. It's kinetic energy. It's our drive, our focus, our ability to take action, but it can also be our overdoing, our overwhelm, our overaction, our snap reaction, our anger. All of that stuff can sit in Rajas. Sattva is the balance between. So whenever you feel calm and yet alert, able to move forward but not too attached to the results, that is sattva, and that's what we're working on. So we've been spending a lot of time in tamasic or restful practices. So now we're going to play a little bit in the rajas so that we can stay in the balance that's sattva, right? So Kapalabhati is not just a rajistic practice. It also helps us start to build awareness and control of our nervous system. So you hear a lot about moving into the parasympathetic nervous system, our rest and digest. That's where we want to be. But we want to have control of it. We don't want to stay in our parasympathetic nervous system all the time, or else nothing would get done. If we stayed in our parasympathetic nervous system, we would be unable to react or to respond to unfavorable situations. We would just continue to rest and digest. So we want to be able to control when we move into the other side, which is the sympathetic the sympathetic nervous system. Our fight, fright, freeze, fawn. Our action places, right? We want to be able to control that. So we're going to play a little bit in a safe way, in a very safe way. You're just going to stay in one little spot, and we're just going to play with breath. Remembering that you have the control to do as little or as much as you want in this practice. And you can come back to this practice weekly. You can come back to it daily, whatever you feel like you need to help raise those energy levels, to kind of clear out some of that brain fog, to connect to your Manipura, our solar plexus chakra. That's the home of our confidence. Anytime you want to do any of that, you also another benefit of this Kapalabhati practice is it stimulates the lymphatic and the digestive system, so it can have a detoxifying effect. All of that in mind, we're gonna get situated for this practice. It can be done upright. So if you're in a chair and you feel comfortable in the chair, just come to the edge of your chair. You can also come onto the mat either in a cross-legged position or kneeling. You want to make sure your knees are lower than your hips. So I have set myself up with a bolster here So let's go ahead and let's get in position here. And we're going to do just a little bit of movement to kind of find some ease. So that's why the reason why I sit up on the edge of this bolster is so that my hips are higher than my knees. This creates a little bit more ease in the hips. Can stay for a little bit longer here. And if you need to, a little bit of movement might feel nice. In fact, let's start with just a little bit of shoulder rolls. We'll go one way a couple of times. And then we're going to go the other way a couple of times. Let's take a big stretch up. Maybe hook your thumbs over your head so your biceps are by your ears. And tip over to one side. Little stretch here. Starting to tap into the awareness of your breath. Let's take it to the other side. Just noticing what your breath feels like right now as you stretch here. Good. Coming back to center. Let's twist a little bit. Take your right hand behind you. Left hand to your right leg. Just look over your shoulder. Trying to keep the shoulders right over the hips. So not leaning back too far, or leaning forward too far. Somewhere in between. And let's do the other side. Nice and easy here. Good, good, good. Coming back to center. Let's do just a little bit of cat-cow. So inhale, lift the heart, lift the gaze. Exhale, round the back. Gently squeeze the air out. We're starting to get ready here. So big inhale, relaxing and opening up the front of the body. Feel that abdomen expand. Exhale, pull that belly button in as you round. Let's do two more like that. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Good, good, good. Come on back to a neutral place here. And if it feels good, you can put a hand right on your diaphragm, right on your manipura, just above your navel here, right? That might feel nice. And what we're going to do is we're just going to start to practice the idea of exhaling with a little squeeze. So you just take a deep breath in, exhale with a little squeeze. Little squeeze. Keep going. Inhale. Squeeze the air out. Activating those abdominals. And exhale. Now see if you can let that go for just a moment, and I'm going to explain the next part. Kapalabhati is the process of actively squeezing that exhale. So pulling the abdominals in to squeeze all the air out. No effort on the inhale. So the inhale happens naturally, which means it might be a little bit of a longer inhale. So this doesn't have to be really fast. Bellows breath is kind of a fast inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Where in Kapalabhati is more like inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. If that makes sense. I hope that makes sense. And you're going to do all of the breathing through your nose if that's comfortable for you. If you have a lot of congestion, then this might be a practice that you wait to do. Maybe just visualize what it might feel like and then come back to it whenever you can breathe clearly through your nose. We don't want to force anything. We don't want to make any sort of complications to our breathing system, to our respiratory system. So you can keep that hand on your abdominals if that feels good for you, or you can just rest your hand down. So here we go. We just inhale, squeeze the air out. Might sound like a little poof out of the nose. We're only going to do about a minute. And it doesn't have to be fast. Do maybe 3 more. And then let it go. Just rest here for a moment. That skull shining effect may start to happen. Sometimes you can feel a little lightheaded, a little clear. Sometimes the clarity feels a little euphoric. But we're nice and safe right here. We're just seated. Don't have to go anywhere. So we're going to do this one more time. And this time, if you want to try to speed it up a little bit, all we're doing is forcing the exhale, forcing an exhale. So maybe it goes a little bit faster for you this time. Maybe it stays the same. But we're going to do one more round. Again, hand on the belly if that feels good. Here we go. Maybe 3 more. And then let that go. Eyes soft or closed, just tune in and notice what's present now. Maybe you're noticing a little shift or change in the body, some tingling, some vibration. Maybe the breath, rhythm, location is starting to shift or change. Maybe you notice something internally in the mind or in the heart starting to shift or change. When you're ready, just lift the gaze or open the eyes. Wonderful. Thank you so much for sharing this practice with me today. This is a practice that you can return to. I would recommend doing this before an activity. So in the morning, maybe at lunchtime, if you need that 2 o'clock pick me up, this would be a nice way to kind of give yourself a little bit of a boost. I don't recommend doing this before bedtime. This is not a relaxing practice. This is an energizing practice. So you want to do this at a time when you want more energy, right? So thank you so much. I appreciate you watching to the end. If you want to share your insights, what was it like doing this practice for you? What did you notice? How did you feel before and how do you feel after? This is how we learn. This is how we cultivate our awareness through yoga. This is where we find our transformation in the comparison in the before and after. So share your insights in the comment section. Let me know. Be sure to subscribe to this channel, like this video, and maybe even share it out to a friend who you think might benefit from a practice like this. And until next time, mwah, 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 mwah. Take really good care of yourself, okay? All right.